Hello and welcome to day 15 of the Technique Tune-Up Challenge. Super excited that you're here, and we are working on one of my favorite exercises, the G minor pentatonic transition exercise A. Basically, you're going to ascend and descend the bottom two strings of each pattern of the G minor pentatonic up and back down the neck. When you're at the top of the neck, you're going to play pattern number 1 of the minor pentatonic, the 15th fret, once for the direction going up the neck, and another time for the direction going back down the neck. Even tempo, played as eighth notes, no gaps between patterns. The birth of this exercise is as follows. One of the things that I've been passionate about showing guitar players how to do is to take each of the patterns of the minor pentatonic and connect them. It's amazing how many people actually can't play all 5 patterns of the pentatonic up and down the neck and interconnect them without any gaps. It seems like one of the most obvious things to do, right? Pentatonic, we kind of start there, most of us. Be able to take all 5 patterns, ascend and descend each pattern, no gaps between them, but it's just kind of not that way. So what I did was, instead of having people play all 6 strings and then kind of make the transition, make a mistake at the transition, I basically shrunk the patterns down to just the bottom 2 strings. And in so doing, we kind of found this great way to kind of run the pentatonic in a linear sense on a pair of strings. And in turn, I've worked with a bunch of my students doing that on each of the pairs of strings. But for this, we're just doing it on the bottom 2 strings. And unlike the way I normally show it, we're adding the palm mute, which is just a little bit of a variation, but I like it. Normally, I have people do it without the palm mute. You're welcome to do it both ways, but I wanted to do the palm mute just because. All right, that gets us to the technique tips. Technique tips. Hand position, hand position, hand position. All right, you're probably thinking, wait a second. Is he going to come at me again with his classical hand position? Are we playing the minor pentatonic? Isn't that kind of where you do the bending thing? Take a look what happened with my pinky as soon as I drew it up there like that. I lost all the extension there. And if you take a look at the diagrams there, you're going to notice there's an awful lot of pinky notes. So if you got the thumb wrapped around the top of the neck here, and you're trying to play that note right there with your pinky, well, unless your pinky is considerably longer than mine is, you're going to have a heck of a time too. We're establishing that classical hand position because we're using a linear approach, so we need to have those fingers in position. There's also a lot of stuff happening where the pinky is incorporated because these are really abbreviations of the larger patterns. When we're playing these patterns, that classical hand position prescribes 1 finger per fret. And with the exception of pattern number 3, that has that first finger kind of jut out of position there on the 3rd string, every single one of these patterns only has kind of the range of, if you will, 1, 2, 3, 4 frets. All of them, with the exception of pattern number 3 there. So the deal is, one of the ways that plays out that's going to be a little interesting is keeping in mind that pattern number 3 starts out 1, 3, 1, 3, where pattern number 5 starts out 2, 4, 2, 4. And again, that's because pattern number 3 goes 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, stretch 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, stretch 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, where pattern number 5 goes 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2. All right, that's super important. One of the other things that I would suggest doing is you're at the bottom of the neck playing, picking a little bit softer. You'll get a little bit less pick noise, and when you get up to the top of the neck, pick a little bit harder. You're just going to find that you're going to get a little bit less floppiness and flubbiness on the bottom of the neck if you just lighten up with the pick. Conversely, when you're at the top of the neck, by digging in a little bit, you get a little bit more of the thump, if you will, of that palm unit, which I love so much. Awesome. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.